Singapore is one of the most modern cities in the world. But is it also one of the most expensive? If you're planning to move here, how much money do you really need? Let's break it down in simple numbers. If you're moving to Singapore, your biggest expense will be rent. A one-bedroom apartment in the city centre will cost you anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 Singapore dollars per month. If you're willing to live outside the city centre, the price drops to around 2,500 to 4,000 Singapore dollar, depending on the location. Need a bigger place? A 2 or 3 bedroom apartment in central areas like Orchard Road or Marina Bay will easily go above 7,000 Singapore dollars. So, if you're moving here alone or with a partner, it might be a good idea to consider co-living spaces or renting with roommates to save some money. One of the best things about Singapore is public transport. The MRT, which is the city's train system, along with buses, is fast, clean, and reliable. A single ride costs around 2 Singapore dollars, and if you commute every day, a monthly pass will cost you 130 SGD. But what if you want to own a car? Well, bad news. Singapore has some of the most expensive cars in the world. Before you can even buy a car, you need a special permit called a Certificate of Entitlement, or COE. In 2025, this will cost you around 90,000 Singapore dollars. Just for the permit. Add the price of the car, taxes, and insurance, and you're looking at $150,000 or more for a regular car. That's why most foreigners in Singapore don't own cars. Public transport, taxis, and ride-hailing apps like Grab are much cheaper. Food in Singapore can be very cheap or very expensive, depending on what you eat and where you go. If you love local food, you're in luck. You can get a delicious meal at a hawker centre, which is a food court with local stalls, for just 5 to 8 Singapore dollars. Even at food courts in shopping malls, you'll pay around 8 to 15 Singapore dollars for a meal. But if you prefer dining at restaurants, the cost goes up. A casual meal at a mid-range restaurant will set you back 20 to 40 Singapore dollars per person, while a fine dining experience at a high-end restaurant can cost 100 to 300 Singapore dollars per person. And let's not forget drinks. Alcohol is very expensive in Singapore. A simple beer in a bar costs around 15 SGD, and a cocktail at a rooftop bar, expect to pay 25 Singapore dollars or more. Electricity, water and gas for an apartment will cost you between 150 and 300 SGD per month. But if you use air conditioning all day, your bill can easily go up to 400 SGD or more. Internet is actually pretty affordable. A fast home Wi-Fi plan costs 40 to 60 SGD per month, and a mobile phone plan with data will be around 30 to 70 SGD per month, depending on how much data you need. Singapore has some of the best healthcare in the world, but it's not cheap if you don't have insurance. A basic visit to a private clinic costs between 50 and 150 SGD, while seeing a specialist doctor can cost 200 to 500 SGD. And if you ever need to stay in a hospital, the cost can be over 1,000 SGD per night if you don't have insurance. So, if you're moving to Singapore, getting health insurance is a must. It will save you a lot of money in case of emergencies. Now, what about fun? Going to the movies will cost you 13 to 15 Singapore dollars per ticket. And if you want a gym membership, you're looking at 100 to 200 SGD per month. Shopping is another story. Singapore is known for its luxury malls. And while you can find some good deals, branded clothes and electronics are more expensive than in many other countries. So, if you love shopping, be ready to spend. So, is Singapore expensive? Well, it depends. If you use public transport, eat at hawker centres, and rent a smaller apartment, you can live comfortably for around 4,000 to 6,000 Singapore dollars per month. But if you want a car, a big condo, fine dining, and luxury shopping, your monthly expenses can easily go above 10,000 or even 15,000 Singapore dollars. Would you move to Singapore? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.